Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. Thank you for joining me here today. So in honor of Aquarius season, we just entered Aquarius season. We're going to be doing a video about what makes you like stand out in a crowd, what makes you different, what sets you apart from the rest, okay? That's actually a really good title, what sets you apart from the rest. But yeah, I do want to get into that in honor of all my Aquariuses out there. If anybody's watching who's an Aquarius, happy birthday, happy early birthday, or happy belated birthday if your birthday was like yesterday or so. We want to get into everything that makes you different, unique, always. What makes you stand out. Because Aquarius naturally rules the star in the tarot deck, and the star represents all those things. So let's get into it. Please, Spirit. Okay. My group ones, please, Spirit, tap me into their energy. What makes them stand out? What makes them unique? What makes them different? What sets them apart? I just saw 111. So you could definitely be someone who's very individualistic. You may not need many people. There's an energy here of like, I'm hearing somber, you're more so like quiet, you keep to yourself is kind of what I'm getting here, because I'm also seeing the Temperance card in the corner over here while I'm shuffling, and that definitely gives me the tone of someone who's more introspective or deep thinking is kind of what I'm getting as well. Because when I think of Temperance, in my opinion, the card and what the card means, I think of someone who's more contemplative, someone who's more quiet, someone who's more reserved, someone who's more balanced. But then I think that Temperance is constantly going back and forth between two things, trying to find a happy medium. And then I also remember that it's Sagittarius energy, and Sagittarius are anything, but they're not, I wouldn't describe them as like being quiet or anything. So I'm like, which one are you? And that could be what makes you stand out apart from everyone else. You have times of being really quiet, and then you have times of being really, you know, loud and out there and exuberant, you know what I mean? So that's kind of what sets you apart, your ambivertness. If that makes sense to you. That may not be a word. We're going to go with it in this reading, okay? But I'm hearing you're very individualistic, okay? And I'm also hearing something from, I'm trying to remember what movie or show it could have been from. It's like, I like to think of it as opportunistic. Think of it as opportunistic. Oh, it's a song. I really can't stay, baby, it's cold outside, I've gotta go away. But basically in the song, the lady is like, you're really pushy, you know. And the guy responds, I'd like to think of it as opportunistic. So that could definitely be your vibe. Like, he's really like, you're a smooth talker kind of energy, you know? It's like the gift of gab kind of thing. You could convince someone to do just about anything. Because the girl was real adamant in that song about not going home with that man. And he just kept finding reasons to get her to come home, being real slick and suave with it. Like, what was some of his excuses in the song? Like, what is it called? I can't even think of any right now. He was like, you'll freeze. The snow is up to your knees. You could be a bit of a lyricist, maybe. What was he saying? And she's just like, what will the neighbors think? What will this person think? And you're kind of like, who cares what anybody thinks? Just come home with me. And she's like, you know, you're really pushy, eh? And he's like, I want to think of it as opportunistic. And I'm like, okay, sir, please don't piss me off. But that's kind of what's coming through for you guys. You know how to like talk and get what you want. But like I said, you have that air of being someone who's a little bit more private, maybe closed off, but then you're also someone who's very open, very friendly, you know, very talkative. You know what I mean? You could also be someone who's provocative, because it seems that lately, whenever I say talkative, I just hear provocative from that one song. So yeah, so we have Temperance. We have the Eight of Pentacles. So you're someone who's responsible. I feel like the Eight of Pentacles gives me someone who's responsible. We have the Ace of Cups. Okay. Someone who's very open. Someone who's really open is what's coming through for you. That's what sets you apart. I do believe you're someone who makes friends quite easily, because you have a lot of love to go around, and that also sets you apart. Most people in this world are just closed off to love. They're closed off to opening their heart in any kind of way, whether it be new friends, whether it be new romantic relationships, whether it means like going out and experiencing something new in life. So you could be also someone who's quite adventurous. But I think you kind of get along with all kinds of people, so that's coming through here. So yeah, we have the Two of Wands. Yeah, that's the energy that's coming through of you being willing to kind of jump, like, is it feet first or something, into something without thinking too hard about it, you know? You have this open, like, I can do anything. I'm gonna do anything. I'm not scared of the outcome kind of thing, you know? Then we have the Tower, so you're a little bit chaotic as well. What does the card say? Get ready, things you're about to get shaken up. Yeah, so whenever you're coming around, people are kind of like, oh no, here comes the troublemaker. There it is. Yeah. And the fact that this lady is holding the tea in this fashion, it's giving someone who always has tea. You know, so you're the friend who always has drama. You always have gossip. You always have chisme, like whatever it may be for you. You always have the tea. Okay, whenever something's going down, you're the one that's in the thick of the drama. With the Tower card coming through, that is a big vibe coming through for you guys. So what makes you stand apart from the crowd is you're always coming with receipts. You're always coming with the tea. And I'm always hearing you're always coming with the drama. I almost said that, but I caught myself. Oop, y'all always coming with the drama? Okay, heard you. But you kind of have this like eager, overexcited puppy energy to you, where it's like the world is my oyster. I want to experience everything. And that's what sets you apart, because not everyone is like that. You know, some people get jaded. Some people are born that way, and then they kind of slow down or get scared or allow their fears to stop them. You have been, I feel like I'm hearing consistently who you are for a long time, whether it's been your whole life or just a long time. As long as people have known you, you've always been someone who's fearless. And whether you see yourself this way, this is how people are seeing you. So this is what they consider to be unique and what sets you apart from everyone else, okay? So you always have ideas as well. You could be someone who's always coming up with harebrained schemes. You know what you guys are giving me? You're giving me Zack and Cody from the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, how they were always coming up with harebrained schemes to get what they want. And they were just always getting into some trouble. They were just always on a new adventure. And no matter how many times Mr. Mosby, their mom, told them to stop, slow down, behave, they were just too like eager to live life to follow anything they were saying, you know? So it's kind of like any word of caution or like, what do they call it? Disclaimer. It's just go in one ear and out the other, and you just continue to whatever it is you want, right? And that's something that's unique. Is it a good thing all the time? No. Is it a bad thing all the time? No. But that's something that's uniquely you, right? So other people would see caution, do not go down this road, and see it as, oh, okay, let me not go down this road. You're like, wait, but what's down there? Why can't we go? And your mind just starts getting to work, and you're kind of like, nah, I kind of want to go, because you don't want to listen. So you're definitely embodying the Aquarian rebel energy. You don't want to listen. Maybe you have trouble with authority, that kind of thing, and you just do whatever you want. And that's something that not many people do, because not many people are brave enough to go against what society tells them to do, or what, I guess, authority tells them to do, you know? So, my nose is acting up, sorry. But here in Temperance, it says let go of self-imposed limitations, okay? And that's also something that kind of, like I said, sets you apart, because like I've been saying, or like I've said a million times in this reading, you're definitely someone who can't be stopped or scared away from something, you know? All the tape and, what do they call it? All the red tape is going to make you want to go even more and investigate, right? So you're kind of giving me a journalist vibe, where journalists don't just take what anyone says at face value. There's investigative reporting or investigative journalism, where they're getting to the truth of the matter, whether it goes against or exposes a powerful person, company, regime, government. They're doing what it takes to get the truth. They don't care about the red tape and being seen as a villain or whatever. They want to find out the tea. And that's literally what you're doing. It could be on like a small scale, where you're finding out the tea of a friend's business or whatever and taking it to another friend, or you're literally out here going undercover, you know what I mean, and coming out with the truth and the facts, right? So I'm getting investigative reporter for you guys, honestly. That's what sets you apart. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. We have sorry, but fairies aren't going to come and do all the work for you. So like I said, you're someone who's like very much going to put in all the work it takes to get what you want at the end of the day. Even if it's hard, even if it's not easy, even if there are times when you're tired, where you want to give up, where you're being discouraged, where you're being silenced. Were you silent or silenced? I don't think you guys can be silent. So it's like neither, right? But anyway, you have that coming through for you guys. Then we have the Ace of Cups. Do what you feel in your heart. Ooh, do what you feel in your heart. That's crazy. That's not what the card says. It says, do you feel that in your heart? That's potential, dear. You do what feels right in your heart. So it is definitely giving, like, you know, journaling, investigative reporting, stuff like that. Love that. Air out their dirty laundry, sis or sir. Do it. Then we have Two of Wands. Your decision to decide your future here, nothing else. So no one is in control of what you're going to become. No one has any control over what you can and cannot do. So definitely big rebel vibes, okay? So we have the Tower over here. Now, what is this card? We have the Nine of Cups. It says live in a constant state of gratitude. This is giving me someone who's able to like just pack up all their stuff in an RV and like travel the world this way. You don't need much. You could be a little bit of a minimalist, right? That's interesting. Yeah, you would be able to, or you would thrive quite beautifully in this life where it's just you, maybe a dog, right? And then your RV and earth and the water. You don't need many people. And I think that's kind of what's coming through for you guys. Is it like you're able to be by yourself on your own, self-sufficient, loner vibes is coming through for you guys? Or it's not even that you want to be alone. It's just you, how can I describe it? You can. And that's what makes you unique. Other people have a hard time being alone, being with themselves, being with their inner thoughts. You are someone who kind of thrives in that position. You know, it's kind of giving me how Aquarians, I like to say, they don't prioritize love connections because they're more so about the advancement of all. They're more so about the truth being out there for everyone to hear and see. They're not worried about falling in love and having all these kids. No, because they're meant to advance society as a whole. They're not meant to just settle down with one person and move along. You know what I mean? So the Aquarians would be the polygamists and people who are like, what is this new thing that's going around, like ethical non-monogamy? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? Ethical non-monogamy? How can non-monogamy be ethical? Why are you guys just making up stuff now? It's my opinion, okay? You don't have to agree. But I just saw some ish like that the other day, and I'm like, ethical non-monogamy? What is this? Not too much on you if that's what you're into, but I'm just like, explain to me in the comments, what is that about? Why can't you just say non-monogamy? Why does it gotta be ethical or non-ethical? Like, it don't make no sense to me, okay? But anyway, you're definitely someone who would be more so into that, like having a bunch of different connections, you know, being more so about being around people as a whole, as a group, as opposed to being in one-on-one connections, right? So yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting. I do believe, I'm trying to remember, no. So I was trying to figure out the opposite sign, the sister sign to Aquarius. And I'm like, I knew what it was, but it took me a second to pause. It's Leo, okay? So it's the complete opposite of Aquarius, which is we, us, as opposed to Leo, which is me kind of energy. You know what I mean? So I feel like you guys are more so focused on the world as like a collective. You know what I mean? A collective consciousness kind of energy. Whereas Leo was more so me. You're like, no, I don't really care about, you know, fame or recognition or being liked or popular the way Leo does. I am just focused on how can I help? What can I do? How can I make the world a better place for everyone living in it? How can I find the truth? How can I overcome this regime? How can I tear down this system to build up a better, higher functioning one where everyone benefits? Okay? That's the kind of energy coming through for you guys. You can actually care about the collective as a whole, as opposed to other people who are more so self-focused, right? So you're definitely very much in your mind. You're very analytical, that kind of thing, right? Very intuitive. And you're all about the revolution and how the world is changing and what we can do to make it better. And that's what sets you apart. So you're the person who's rallying in the streets. You're the person who would be the Angela Davises. You would be the person who would be the MLKs. You know, you would be the person who would be the Rosa Parks. You would be the person who will be the Malcolm X's. You know what I mean? You're out there in the streets where people can see you in the world and doing things, like I said before, other people would not or could not fathom themselves doing. And that's what sets you apart, okay? So you're in the RV, living by yourself, investigative journaling this specific company or whatever to kind of tear them down for their crimes against humanity kind of thing. You know what I mean? You're given the spy, the cop, the undercover cop is the kind of energy you're coming through as. And not everybody can be those things. It takes being like, I don't know, not even a multidimensional, you know? It takes like a little bit of, you know, how can I even describe, what's the word I'm looking for? It takes a little bit of two-facedness, you know what I mean? It takes a little bit of like having multiple personalities kind of thing. It takes a facetiousness, a facetiousness that other people don't have, okay? So it's giving double operations, it's giving double op. Is that what they're called? Like, whatever, you know what I mean, child. In all the spy movies, I was never really a spy movie girl, but it's giving someone who's undercover trying to, you know, take down a regime. And you have to be this person who you're becoming in order to sell the image or sell the personality, sell the story, you know? And you can do that, okay? Like, you're the, who is it called? The Prometheus that went against Zeus and gave humans fire just because they needed it. And he understood their plight. He cared so deeply, right? So you care very deeply, but you could do it in a way that seems like you don't care, or you do it in a rebellious nature that most people can't even fathom doing themselves. You know, that's what I'm getting for you guys, right? You're more so mind focused, okay? You're more so cold. Your ideals are very like precious to you. Like, you know, you're giving the Gollum. Sorry, not too much on y'all. Gollum from Lord of the Rings. My precious. Like, that's the kind of energy you're giving to, I guess, what you believe in, but you hold dear to your heart. You're the humanitarian. You care about people, you know? But anyway, let's keep going. And then we have the towers. Like I said, you don't mind going to certain extremes to get what you want. You know what I mean? The tower isn't the best card. We know it's not, right? But it's kind of like you having to watch a few things blow up in front of your face. You having to set some things on fire in order to bring about some kind of change. And most people are not willing to do that. They're too scared to. You know what I mean? But you're not scared. You're fearless. And that's what sets you apart. You out here blowing people's spot. You're the friend that if someone did something wrong to you or did something wrong to your friend, you're bringing it up. You're airing it out. You're not holding back. You're not saying, oh, let's keep the peace. And no, you're bringing it to their front door saying, knock, knock. Who's there? Why you said this with my friend? Why you did that? Like, you're not the kind of person who wants to keep secrets or keep things in the dark. You know what I mean? Love that, because please, there's too much secrecy in the world out here. It says haunted house. The things that haunt you are the things you have to let go of. Look at that. There's not going to be any ghosts in your house. Like I said, you're airing everything out. If you're seeing something, you're saying something. Okay? Like I said, you always have the tea. And your friends coming to you saying, what you learned today, sis? Okay, it's giving you would be a great podcaster, right? I'm getting the specific person is like Shane Dawson, how he likes to do the conspiracy theories on YouTube. My best friend loves watching those. I can't get into them. Maybe if I were to give them a chance, but that's not my kind of thing. I don't really care about conspiracy theories. I like to think of them, mix them up in my mind, but watching other people's conspiracy theories, that's not my thing, right? I'm more of the creator kind of person who wants to make the video talking about the conspiracy theories, not watch them. You know if that makes any sense. But anyway, here we have the molasses. To move forward, you must know where you are headed. You do know where you're headed, and that's what sets you apart as well. There's some people who have a vision of what they want for their life. You're one of those people. And then we have falling leaves. Let go of the things that weigh heavily on you. You deserve to take up space. So there's something here about, it's like you're not letting people hold you back. Sorry if I keep clearing my throat. It's like, I feel like I'm coming down with something again, guys. It's ridiculous around here. Okay, it could be allergies, but I don't know. But there's something here about you being light as a feather. Like I said, nothing's holding you down. Nothing's weighing you down. Because everything you had to say to that person, you said it. All the ish you wanted to pop, you popped it. Right? You don't have any beef. You don't have any, like, regrets. Because everything you say. Or everything you want to say, you say. Everything you want to do, you do. You have no regrets. Okay? Let's go one more card from this deck. Like, why does an uneven amount of cards keep coming out? You don't want to be even. You want to be odd. Of course. See, an oddball kind of vibe coming through. Here we have shape-shifting. It says transformation is not the loss of what once was. It is the evolution of a more powerful self. Evolution, moving forward, becoming better, becoming more powerful. It's definitely a vibe coming through here for you guys. But you're definitely disabling. You're disabling something. Is that the word? I think it's the right word. You're kind of getting the wrecking ball that knocks down the building, you know? Is the phone ringing? Huh. Well, not my problem. But yeah, it says transformation is not the loss of what once was. It is the evolution of a more powerful self. So when you are someone who's always up-leveling, you're always changing, always learning new things, maybe the thing you believed in wholeheartedly yesterday is not the same thing you believe in wholeheartedly today. And you're okay with being a different person. You're not going to be sitting here. So for example, okay, the best example I can give is someone who grew up maybe goth, right? And then all of a sudden they have a dream, or they wake up the next day and they throw away all their black clothes, and now they want to be a pink girly, or they want to be cottagecore girly. And people are like, who are you? And what did you do with my friend? Like, this is not you. Are you fake? Which one was real? Was the past you real, or is this person real? And you're kind of like, I'm still both, but right now I just feel like wearing pink. Maybe one day, tomorrow, soon, I throw away all my pink stuff that I just bought yesterday and go back to wearing black. Who knows? I'm just going with the flow, dude. Like, I'm not putting too much pressure on it, you know? I'm not overthinking it. If I feel like wearing pink today, I will. I don't have to be the person who's only known for wearing black. I want to be known for wearing black, white, gray, purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, all the colors. And people are like, oh, you're fake. Oh, you're pretending. Oh my gosh, since when do you like pink? And you're like, okay, it's not that even that serious. You know what I mean? Why are you even in my business? Mind your business. Go focus on yourself. How about that? You know, you're that kind of person where if you were to wake up tomorrow and become a completely different person, you're still you, and you're not caring what the people are popping in your ear. Oh, you used to be this kind of person. You changed. And I changed. Get over it. Like, I'm not going to sit there and hold your hand and coddle you. Oh, well, I had a dream and this dream. I said what I said. I did what I did. Mind your business. Okay? And it's not even the fact of you doing that. It's the fact that you don't care what they think is what sets you apart. And that makes people mad, you know? Then we have cranberries, and it says, devour the truth and let it sink into the depths of all that came before and all that will come after. I think this is a perfect segue to this card, or after this card, because I was like, why do you have to come out and be the odd number? But it's like, it kind of wraps it up in a pretty little bow. Sorry. My body wouldn't be working against me today. Okay. Don't mind me. So yeah, it says devour the truth and let it sink into the depths of all that came before and all that will come after. You're someone who's, like, I guess, dedicated to finding out the truth. You're dedicated to finding out the truth. That's beautiful. Most people want to bury their head under the sand and not realize what's going on in the world and try to change it to fix it. Most people are like, oh my gosh, these people are starving and hungry over in Africa. well, we're in the United States, but it got to do with us. And you're kind of like, everything to do with us is one that could be us. And who's going to help us and make a change if it's not going to be us? And your friend's like, nah, I'm good, love and joy. But you're the person that's like, nah, I'm going to go and make a change. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to go help. I'm going to find a way, something like that. I'm going to learn more about it, or learn more about it to see if I can fix it kind of energy. Whereas people are like, that's not my problem. That's all the way over in Africa. What it got to do with me? And you're like everything because you care about people, I may not be using the best examples, but I hope you're understanding what I'm saying, okay? So the last and final cards for my group ones. Please, Spirit, what sets them apart from the rest of the crowd? It says the Voyager, return home, lessons, realizations. It's okay to forget and then remember all over again. And I think that's kind of what I was saying about the one day you wake up and never want to wear black again. You throw away all of your black clothing and now you want to wear pink. And people are like, well, what happened? Like, what was the big change? Who knows? I don't know. Like, even if I do, mind your business kind of energy. You know what I mean? It's okay for me to remember who I am, then forget who I am and remember all over again. That's my problem, Or what, how did I want to say it? Like, that's my cross to bear. Mind your business. Like, why are you judging me? Focus on yourself. But you're always changing as well. And like I said, most people are scared to do that, or even scared to be themselves. Maybe you thought for your whole life that being goth or being this was what people wanted from you, or what you wanted from yourself. And then one day you realize, no, I want to be a pinky girl. I want to be dressing in all the frills and the pink and the poofs and the pofs and, the girly. And people are kind of like, ugh, you're fake. Like, this is not the real you. And you're kind of like, actually, yes, it is. And I'm proud of myself for actually being able to stand up and say, this is what I wanted. Okay? Or it's like, how can I say it? Someone whose family was forcing them to be a doctor. And they went to school for medicine, whatever. And then one day they wake up like, why are you focusing so much on what your family wants for you? You want to be a singer. And that same day, you drop out of school, you go join a company, and you start a YouTube channel and start posting you singing, or you go and start trying to get signed or book a gig or learn how to do singing classes or learn how to do an instrument. And it's like you spent so long worrying about what people thought or what it wanted from you, and now it's like you're doing what you want to do. And that's what's setting you apart, the fact that you don't really care anymore what people are saying, So we have the Mirror. And it says, self-reflection, writer, bigger picture. Big picture thinking is perfect Aquarius vibes, honestly. So Aquarius could be watching this video for real. Because there's 3 groups. So not every group there's going to be an Aquarius in the group. I do believe you're definitely giving Aquarius vibes for sure. Sun, Moon, Rising. But it says self-reflection, writer, and bigger picture. Okay? And then the little book says, give me a second. Did you forget all you had to go through to be you? No, you didn't. You didn't. You're someone who's always self-reflecting and growing, right? I do believe this self-reflection kind of ties into the cranberries and the shape-shifting. And also the falling leaves. All these cards basically say the same thing, or the energy in the reading is saying the same thing. You have no problem letting go, moving on, becoming someone new, changing, evolving, growing, right? Looking at yourself in the mirror today saying, I don't like this person, I'm changing it, right? I'm cutting off my hair and going bald, right? I'm going to go buy a wig that's down to my butt, right? You know what I mean? You have no problem experimenting with all different versions of yourself. And most people don't even take the time. Most people don't even take the time to stop and ask themselves what they want or who they are. But you do. And that's what sets you apart. Why am I so, I feel like my body's on my own today. Please. Wow. Okay. That's what I have for you guys. I'm going to leave you reading here before anything else starts happening. I hope it resonated in some kind of way. Let me know if it did in the comments below. Hype the video if you feel called to do so. If you did like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever want to book a personal reading with me, you could always do so using my email in the description box below. But I also have memberships now if you guys are interested in that. Join a membership, become even deeper or deeply tied to me, right? But yeah, I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 2s. Welcome to your reading. Thank you for joining me here today. So in honor of Aquarius season, we're in the first day of Aquarius season, or second day, one of those. We're going to be getting into what makes you stand out in the crowd, what sets you apart from everyone else, why are you so unique, all those different topics blended into one. Because as we know, the Aquarians are the aliens of the zodiac. They are what makes us different. They are not like everyone else, very individualistic, right? So we're going to get into what makes you so different than everyone else, you know? So, of course, this is a general reading, so just take what resonates for you. Disclaimer, okay? If at any point the reading is making you unhappy, it is your responsibility to click off the reading. Do not blame the reader or get upset or whatever, okay? So immediately I'm getting that you are the kind of people that hold other people accountable. So if they're doing something wrong or acting out in some kind of way, or they're just generally in the wrong, you are pointing that out, okay? You're holding everyone accountable. You could also be someone who's really good with boundaries. And don't think, oh, that's regular, because it's good. It's regular for you. It's not something that is encouraged in society most of the time. It's encouraged by people who are awakened and evolved, okay? It is not something that is perpetuated. It's not something that's encouraged. And if it's something that you do, don't think everyone else is going to do it too. I'm pretty sure if you are someone who's boundaried up, you have experienced a lot of people with no boundaries. So you know it's not something that everyone has, okay? So you know right from wrong. You know up from right. You, my dear group 2s, have common sense, okay? And if you are also living in the world as I am, you know that common sense is not all that common, okay? Not everyone has it. Nor does everyone want to have it, okay? So, yeah, you're someone who's like disciplined and you hold people accountable. Because I don't usually give that disclaimer. If you've been here on my channel before, I don't usually give the disclaimer, this is a general reading, take what resonates, because I feel like that's common sense. But it's not common for everyone. So if you just so happen to be the 1% of people who's watching with no common sense, just leave now. I'm telling you, if I'm rude, if I'm the B word, I'll be that. Because I hate incompetence in the comments. And I'm sure if you're here and you're group 2, you hate incompetence as well, okay? So that's something that is unique, that does set you apart, because not everyone has boundaries, not everyone has discipline, not everyone has structure, okay? Not everyone has all those things, okay? Common sense. But you definitely do. You understand that you're watching a general reading. It's not it's not a private reading. It's a collective reading. So everything will not resonate for you. So there's no need for you to be in the comments like, well, that part doesn't resonate for me, and I could never do that, and that could never. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Like, obviously that part wasn't for you. Okay, we have the Emperor, definitely. You're no nonsense. I'm trying to figure out if I want to take all of these. They're just 4 cards. I'll take them. You're no nonsense. Anything else coming through, please spirit for my group 1s. What sets them apart from everyone else? Why are they so unique? Why do they stand apart? What sets them apart? Ooh, I like that that flew out. Let's see what that is. We have the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. You don't, how can I even say it? Victimize yourself. You don't adopt victim mentality when certain things don't go your way. You just fix it, or find a problem, or you find a solution, I should say. You find a solution to the problem, is what I was trying to say. You don't sit there and cry and boo-hoo and say, oh my gosh, the world is against me. It's like, so for example, I'll be over on TikTok. I'm more active over there these days, okay? So if you were ever interested, TikTok is, I'd be active over there. But there was this new template going around on TikTok where it was like, something about me being this and that, a small creator no one's really watching, and then the second clip would be like Shia LaBeouf clapping in a movie theater, and it says, but my spirit guides, or that's what I put for my prompt, my spirit guides cheering me on anyway, 24/7, okay? Excuse me. But in the caption, I put, if they're against me, I mean, if they're for me, why should I care who's against me? Because there are people who are cheering you on. There are people who are for you. There are solutions to problems that could be found. So why am I sitting here crying boo-hoo, like life is so horrible, when there are things I can do to fix it and make my life better? So instead of you sitting there crying like, oh my gosh, I'm all alone, no one likes me, I have no friends, you keep going, you keep pushing. But other than that, if you want friends, you go find friends. If you want a job, you go find a job. If no one's hiring, you make your own job. Like, that's unique. It's like, I'm telling you, and I swear, as someone who used to be the person who was like, woe is me, life is so hard. There are people out there who struggle with this, who struggle with getting up every day and fighting for something, getting up every day and fighting for themselves and the future that they want. And you, my dear group 2, are the people who don't have to do that, because you already have vision. You already have clarity. You already know the destination you want to go, and you know the steps you want to take to get there. Okay? So vision, direction, clarity, discipline, that common sense, boundaries, all that stuff is like a truly healed person. What makes you unique and sets you apart from everyone else, that you are a truly healed individual. Okay? Because this, like I said, 5 of Pentacles would be upright if you are someone who was unhealed and woe is me and everything's going wrong and I feel like I'm an outsider. You embrace being an outsider. If anything, you're not crying saying, no one likes me and I have no friends. This is great. This is where I'm supposed to be. I would rather have no friends than fake friends. It's the kind of energy coming through. I would rather have no job than be in a job where they're taking me for a joke and taking advantage of me and not paying me what I'm supposed to be owed. Right? So instead of you seeing certain things as negatives, you see them as like positives, okay? Or stepping stones or growth. Everything's a lesson. Everything is something that you can learn from, This is beautiful. I like you guys already. Group 2. Period. Okay, anyway. But the Emperor is someone who takes command, takes control, takes the reins kind of energy. But the card itself says being the authority of your own life comes with a lot of responsibility. So you're not someone who like runs away from responsibility, thankfully. Because there's some people who do. Right? But this reading ain't about them. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles, and it says upright, nothing is ever as hopeless as it seems. So you could definitely be someone who's quite hopeful. Maybe you're like the eternal optimist kind of person as well. And not most people are like that. You guys are kind of giving me like my lover girls, lover boys, lover people, where it's like, okay, this is not my season, but my season is coming. I will never give up hope and just be like, oh my gosh, life is like just throwing me all these things. No, you always have this, like I said, optimism deep in your heart. Like my time is coming. Okay. Whether it's 2 days from now, 5 days from now, 2 years from now, my time is coming. I just gotta make it through this rough patch real quick. You know what I mean? There's a video that I was watching earlier, or I think they've been showing me a few videos over the period of the last few days, where there's people on TikTok who are like have cancer or had cancer. And you know how I'm sure if you're on TikTok or on social media, people have been having these like get-togethers where all their friends come together and like put in a cake what they accomplished this year. And there was this one girl who had beat cancer, and her cake was full of accomplishments she did. She was doing chemotherapy and working 2 jobs. Right? She was doing chemotherapy and she was doing this, she was doing that, and she got this and she got that. And she made 50,000 followers on TikTok, and she did like so many big, beautiful things that was happening in her life. And I'm like, she could have took, oh, I got cancer, to be like, oh my gosh, my life is over. I have to stop fighting. There's nothing left for me to live for. I'm not going to survive anyway. And she was like, oh, her first thing was when she first got diagnosed with cancer, they told her she had like 2 or 3 months. She's been fighting for like years now. And I'm like, oh, yes, testimony. Testimonials are my favorite things, y'all. I love a good testimonial. And she was like, they told me I had less than 2 months, and look at me still here. I was working 2 jobs while I was doing chemo. I got 50,000 subscribers or followers on TikTok. I was doing this. I was doing that. Her cake was full of accomplishments. And I'm like, this is, I wanted to comment, I have no excuse. Because literally there have been times in my life where I'm just like, oh my gosh, life is against me, nothing's gonna happen. And that was me being in the victim mode. As soon as I decided to like get up, stand up, and do something and fix something, it's so much better than sitting back and crying and saying nothing's happening. Just doing anything is better than doing nothing. And that's something that I wasn't really raised to do. It's something I had to figure out myself. And it's like, it's not common. And it's not something that everyone is born with, or everyone even comes to like grow into or get or inherit, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, look at us, group 2. Look at us. Look at me and you. And the girl who got cancer, who got all these things, and they said she wasn't going to make it past 2 months, and she's still here. You know what I mean? You have that conviction. You're like, I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep going. Because if I stop now, like, what was it all for? Like, no. You have vision, is what I just keep hearing. So you can be someone who like sees things. You can be clairvoyant, stuff like that. That's also something that's not everyone has as well, or not everyone. I think everyone is capable of having spiritual gifts, but only certain people cultivate them and grow them and build them. And you're someone who has built those things, okay? Okay. I've been stopping to blow my nose. Don't mind me. We have the King of Swords. Okay, so research is one of your strong suits, one of your strongest qualities. And this is also vision. The King of Swords can see clearly. He can cut through anything that's in his way, right? Mental fog, gone. Snow on your windshield, cleared away, right? Someone who's in your path, pushed to the side. You know what I mean? That kind of energy is coming through here. But it says we can all learn important things from one another. King of Swords. So we do have some Aquarius coming through. I do believe the King of Swords is Aquarius, honestly, if I'm not mistaken. So we could have some Aquariuses watching. But I'm also hearing no nonsense, right? Let's get all the cards out. We have the Cozy Witch. We have the Fool. It says, take a chance, for each morning is a new beginning. Yep, that's you. Yesterday may have not been the best, but I'm still going to go into tomorrow with all the faith that things are working out for me. I'm not like, you know what I mean? It's giving affirmations is kind of what I'm getting as well. So you guys can be big on affirmations, on always saying like, I'm so lucky, things are always working out in my favor, like, you know, everything that I want is attracted to me kind of energy. And it's like, as long as you keep that at the forefront of your mind, you keep getting up and you keep fighting, there's nothing you can't do. And that's literally you. You're the kind of person who, you were the guy, I know y'all sick of me bringing him up, but you were the guy from 𝐓𝐈𝐿, that one episode where he was like, pilot your own life. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. If you can achieve it, you can believe it. Because nothing is impossible, truly, in this world we live in, right? I'm so convinced, and I've heard it so many times, that it's all a simulation. It's literally like you're playing a video game, and you are in control. You have the remote in your hands. So what are you going to do? Are you going to be in, what is it called? How can you, what is it used to be called? Like where the game will be playing for you? Or are you going to be taking control of that remote and say, hey, this is my life, my game, my mission. I'm going to do what I want, right? Is it like something player mode? I don't remember, right? I remember when you first got the game, they would have it like set so where they're doing everything, or have it set in a way where they're telling you what to do, or stopping every 2 seconds and telling you how to win. And you're like, nah, cut that out. I want to figure it out myself, okay? I want to learn. I want to fall down and get back up again. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You know what I mean? That's the kind of energy coming through. I don't want things to be easy. It's kind of giving me how people say you sign up for how you want your life to go when you first, like, are as a soul, when you're first born as a soul. You sign up a soul contract of what you want to go through in this life. And you signed up for the God's Strongest Warrior package. And I'll be cracking up at the people on TikTok saying, please, Lord, I'm not signing up for the God's Strongest Warrior package this year. And it's giving you guys signed up for that for life. Because you kind of thrive in challenge. You thrive in adversity. You're not someone who's falling and like can't get back up. You know what I mean? Like the old people in the commercial, I've fallen and I can't get back up. No, you're finding a way to get back up. And you signed up for this with the Fool card. You said, you know what? I want to experience, to show me how hard it can get. So I can flip it, switch it, and reverse it. I can alchemize it and flip it to how good can life get. Give me the worst, most dire circumstances, born from a poor family, full of toxicity and trauma and generational this and that, and watch me flip it and reverse it. Watch me. So yeah, I signed up for this, but it's because I knew that I could do it. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm gonna preach or something in this reading here. That could be something that's a unique talent of yours as well. You be preaching out here. Here we have the Four of Pentacles, and then we have the Judgment card. So we have the Judgment card, and it says, treat yourself, Four of Pentacles, wow. And it says, treat yourself to something shiny every now and again. Why did I read that as skinny? I'm reading in the phone, so I'm like, huh, what? Skinny? Shiny every now and again. Please. Thank you. So what makes you unique is you always treat yourself, I feel like. Maybe you're like a shopaholic like me. I don't care how broke I is. If I go out somewhere and see something nice, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to get it. That may not be good for me and my wallet in the long run, but I'm going to buy it for myself because life is so hard. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Will we still even be here tomorrow? A comet, a meteor, whatever could come and crash into Earth. And I deny myself that chocolate. I don't like chocolate. That's a wrong example for me, but you guys can like chocolate. I deny myself that ice cream cone. I deny myself that luxurious body wash that I could go home and use and feel like a queen in the bathroom. You know what I mean? I deny myself that just for tomorrow to come and the earth is no longer here. How dare me? You know what I mean? That's my mentality. So I'm like, if I see that bath wash, I'm gonna buy it. I went to Ulta yesterday with my best friend because she was returning some stuff from Christmas and buying some new stuff she had her eye on. I needed nothing. I didn't need a single thing. Why did I go and buy the whole Saltaire Golden Hour body wash, oil, deodorant, butter, spray? And I'm like, do I need it? No. Did I want it? Yes. Because mine is almost done at home. Who am I to step into Ulta and not buy a replacement? Who would I be? Not me. So I'll buy it. Okay? And I bought it. And I showered with it earlier. And I feel good. I smell good. And that's all that matters. Okay? If the meteor were to come and hit Earth right now, I would go out happy. Because I bought what I wanted. Yo, I'm an idiot. But you know what I mean? Like, you're the kind of person who's flipping that. Like, hey, I can look at it as a bad thing or I can look at it as a good thing, right? You can definitely be someone who's good at, like, spinning the narrative to fit you. You know what I mean? You make a good lawyer, group 2. You make a great lawyer. Okay, because I'm sitting here really convincing myself, like, yeah. I bought that soap and I was right. And I was right. Okay? Because now I'm happy. Now I can be walking around smelling like Golden Hour. And I swear, if you guys have never tried it, Saltaire, Golden Hour, body wash, anything Golden Hour, it's delicious. It smells so good. And that's how I know the universe is on my side. Because I went to Marshall's after that. Okay? It was my cousin's birthday. I was trying to find her some last minute gifts. So I'm in Marshall's, running around trying to find something for her. I finally find something I like for her. We're going to the checkout. As I enter the checkout aisle, you know, like when you're walking through the store sometimes and they have all these things on either side of you to get you to buy more stuff. Like, I walked, and as soon as I stepped in there, I sniffed the air and I'm like, what is that glorious smell? And there was a lady who was like standing like a few feet in front of me, and she was like, oh, one of these perfumes, I just sprayed it. I'm like, can you tell me which one you sprayed? She's like, okay, let me figure it out. She didn't remember. Finally, she landed on the one that she sprayed. And when I sprayed it on my arm, I smelled it, and I'm like, why does it smell so familiar? I'm smelling. I keep walking. I put it in my car because, of course, treat yourself, right? And I keep walking, and the closer we're getting to the checkout, I'm like, wait, I just bought the whole collection to this smell. That's why it smells so familiar. And I'm smelling my arm, and I'm like, this smells exactly like Golden Hour. And I'm like, you see how serendipitous that would have been if I wasn't meant to buy it now. I wouldn't have smelled the smell as soon as she sprayed it. She wouldn't have been standing there to tell me what it was. And it wouldn't have smelled so similar to what the whole thing that I just bought. So now I'm walking around smelling delicious. Like today, I keep smelling myself and I'm like, yes, you smell so good, sis. Right? And I'm like, if I wasn't supposed to buy it, why was it there? You know what I mean? And I feel like you guys are similar. Give me a second. I don't know why this really had me getting crazy. Maybe you're someone who's quite passionate. Like I said, you're kind of giving me pastor vibes. When the pastor be sweating and fall one more time, 'cause I'm not playing with you. Like, I'm not, really and truly. Okay. When he be getting really into his sermon, right? And he be hopping and going into tongues and all that kind of thing. That's what I'm getting for y'all, right? So you're so very passionate about life. You refuse to be the underdog. You refuse to stay down for long. Like, you're not going to be the kind of person who stays in a situation that doesn't favor you for too long. You're finding a way out of it, okay? Especially with this judgment card coming through. And it says, all the signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. That's what I was just saying. If I wasn't meant to buy it, why would it have been sprayed right before I went into the aisle? That's alignment, okay? That's alignment, in my opinion, okay? Yeah, maybe like, shut up, okay? And go on with the reading. Heard you. Let's go. But that's what I'm getting. Like, if I wasn't meant to buy it, it wouldn't have been there, and it wouldn't have been sprayed, and it wouldn't smell exactly like the whole collection I just bought. And it's so good, okay? But what makes you set apart is that you can turn a whole story. You can be a good storyteller. Oh my gosh, you could be a fool. You could be someone who's very funny, very charismatic, very like, you emphasize things and you kind of like get people to, like I said, agree with your way of thinking. You know, you're a good public speaker in that kind of way. Giving speeches, motivating people, all that is coming through. The King of Swords is someone who's good with his words, good at research, good at finding like solutions as well, finding ways out of a situation. It's kind of like, is it called like intellectualizing everything? That could be one of your strong suits. But yeah, sorry, I got distracted. So the Four of Pentacles says, treat yourself as something shiny every now and again. This is how we got on the topic. Let's not get back into it. But yeah, you're definitely someone who can like, maybe you're good at saving or making money, and that's also something that's really good as well, because you're able to buy whatever you want. Then you don't have to convince yourself to, oh, maybe I should buy this. No, I can buy it all. I can do everything because I manage my money well. And this is my gift, and I can buy what I want because of it. Right? You see where I'm going from? But that's your talent as well. Maybe you're good at spending money, you're good at making money, you're good at both. Okay? Because sometimes you gotta what? Spend money to make money. I know you heard. I know that's right. Okay? Anyway, let's keep going. Judgment, all the signs say that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I do believe you're someone who's always in alignment, or you're good at finding alignment in your life, right? Where situations like that do line up, where you end up buying 5 products from one line, and maybe the only thing you were missing was a perfume. And that's what I get. And when I step in the line, I'm like, ooh, see, I was meant to be here at this point in time, because or else I wouldn't have smelled what she sprayed. She would have been checked out, and I never would have had it. And it was meant, everything's meant to happen as it should be. That's your gift. You're able to find those synchronicities, or they find you, or you're able to recognize them for what they are, you know, and not think too much or overthink certain things. There are certain things you do overthink, right? But you intellectualize it, where you find meaning in everything that's happening around you. So you're good at picking up on cues and signs where other people just ignore it. So you can be the kind of person, or my spiritual people, who are always finding angel numbers, or always looking at the clock at this exact time, or always finding things happen for you at the right time. You're in the right time at the right place, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's keep going. Please, Spirit, for my group 2s. What sets them apart from everyone else? What makes them so unique? We have whiskey. Life should be slipped slowly with intention. Be patient as the vision. Okay, that's not the right place because you can't even see it. Be patient as the vision reveals itself. Okay. Maybe we can move this a little bit more so you can see that. That'll do. Life, yeah, we have a beverage coming through, whiskey. Not my favorite, actually. I'm capping. Because I'll be out on the weekends doing what I do, and whiskey be the thing to throw back real quick. But, okay, life should be slipped slowly with intention. So you're definitely someone who takes your time. You're giving me Taurus energy for you guys. I don't know why. I'm getting big Taurus vibes for you guys. So that could be like a lot of Taurus in your chart, sun, moon, rising, or just Venusian things. Because the one thing about Taurus is they love the good things in life. You know what I mean? They want the luxurious furs. They want the good food, the delightful wines, the rich stuff. They don't want the cheap stuff, okay? So one of your gifts could be, you know, knowing how to find the good stuff, like having great taste in food, wine, clothes, you know, things like that. But I'm also getting, there's like so celebrities do this video on social media where they kind of guess the most expensive thing. And I do believe y'all would do quite well on that show, right? They put two products essentially in front of a celebrity, and they're kind of like, choose which one is more expensive. And they have to touch, feel, smell, taste, and figure out which violin is more expensive, which bag is more expensive, which glasses is more expensive, which perfume is more expensive. And I believe you guys have that good taste. So you would be able to figure out which one is more expensive. You know what I mean? I'm getting that for y'all. Okay, here we have the toad. She's beautiful, actually. It says observe. For those who watch, see all. So you're someone who's very observant. And that's the King of Swords, honestly. Someone who's always watching. I'm hearing Big Brother is always watching. When it comes to putting in the work, putting in the time, putting in the thoughts, putting in the, I'm trying to think of the other word that's coming through. I'm hearing finishing touches. You're really good at that stuff. And that sets you apart. Like, you're giving me like luxury brand. Like, you either sell it, you make luxury clothes, you sell luxury clothes. Like, you would be good at doing stuff like that in that kind of industry, you know? And then we have the autumn equinox. Nothing is whole without the acceptance and the acknowledgement of all. So you're someone who's good at doing the spiritual work as well. And then here we have 3, the number of the Empress. And then we have 4, the number of the Divine Feminine. And I love how we have these two split down the middle. We have the sun, yang energy. Then we have the moon, yin energy. So you kind of incorporate those perfectly, you know? You're both. So very observant, very patient, and very intentional. I think is the word that I was trying to say when the King of Swords first came out. You're very intentional about all the things that you do because you know what you want at the end of the day, and that is something that most people can't say. You know where you want to be. You know what you want to be when you're older. You know how you're going to get there, why you want to be there. You know you're going to get there, period, as well, and that's something that sets you apart. Maybe ambition, drive, you know? Let's get some cards from this deck here and see what comes through. Please spare for my group 2s. This reading might have been a little ghetto today. I apologize. Like, I keep stopping to blow my nose. I'm just like, how much more can a girl take? Okay. I feel like I've been sick for like, I don't even think I'm sick because I'm not coughing or anything, but it's like, I've been under the weather in some way, shape, or form for the past few months repeatedly. And I'm not the kind of person who gets sick often. Like, it was once a year for me. And it's been like this last few months have been every other week. I'm like, oh no. Who do I complain to about this? Do I gotta up my vitamin intake? Is something going around? Because I'm not amused. I'm not happy about this. Anyway, here we have the shaman. It says lunatic, insights and cosmos. Don't piss me off. Who you calling a lunatic? Let me stop. And we have 3 coming through again. 30 reduced to 3. Stop it. So you are crazy enough to believe things are going to come true. You are, like I said, I don't know if you are, there's always one person or a few people who get the witch in the woods reference that I always make. It's coming through in this group here. You're the crazy cat woman, the crazy cat lady, the crazy shaman, okay? That's the kind of vibe coming through for you guys. If people don't believe you, you believe in angel numbers and manifestation and candle magic and like manifesting and things are going to come true. I just believe in it. And people are like, are you crazy? And you're like, I'll be crazy because it's going to happen for me, right? And they just like think you're crazy. We have insights and cosmos, definitely. You're definitely the person that believes that they're going to get everything they want because they deserve it, because it's their birthright. And people are like, you're crazy. And you're like, I'll be crazy. That's fine. Here we have 2. I am in divine flow. Funnily enough, 2 was the Empress. And I was just talking about yin and yang. That was coming through in this autumn equinox card. And the autumn equinox is like all about your crops coming in, you know? So you've been planting, sowing, seeding all day, all year. and your crops are finally fully grown. You can finally take them home. So you're good at bringing things in. You're good at making money. You're good at doing stuff like that. You know, bringing in customers, bringing in people. You're the car salesman kind of energy. That's what you're good at. That's your talent, you know? And then it says, I am in divine flow and move in alignment. What was I saying about alignment earlier? Coming through again. It says yin and yang, unity, balance, energy, and manifestation. Yeah. So what we've been talking about this whole reading, coming through to confirm, I suppose. But you're the crazy cat lady, the crazy witch in the woods, the crazy person who believes that the candles are actually doing things for you, that burning sage clears out negative energy, that you ringing bells, that you chanting, that you manifesting, praying, cleansing your energy, doing deep inner work, journaling, stuff like that. People are like, are you crazy? You know what I mean? And you're kind of like, well, I'll be crazy. You know what I mean? Because it's working, right? I'm in divine flow. I'm in alignment. I'm doing just what I need to do. I'm being just the good amount of masculine with just the good amount of feminine. And all my crops are coming in. All my ships are coming in. This last card. Let's get this last card. Oh, harmony. I've never gotten this card yet in this deck. It says my sweet. Oh, hold on. Not my sweet. My precious. Right? May sweet and soft things find you. Harmony. Ease, inner child, softness. Love that. Honestly. This is, I get whatever I want because I deserve it. You know what I mean? The way she's flirting with life, and flirting with nature, and flirting with flowers. You know what I mean? This is beautiful energy. Like I said, I like you guys. It says, may sweet and soft things find you. Isn't that so Venusian? Isn't that so Taurian? That's definitely coming through for you guys. Yeah. And on her book here, I forgot to read that. It says, am I crazy or is it the moon? Right? You believe in Mercury retrograde. And people are like, you believe Mercury has control over all of these things? You're like, yeah, I do. Like, and what of it? Mind your business. You know what I mean? Allow me to do whatever I want. You're writing things down. You're daydreaming. You're just like making your dreams a reality. And that's something, like I said, not many people can do. And that's because you have the King of Swords behind you, or I guess pushing you. Okay. And I felt called, to read about the King of Swords in the book for whatever reason. I don't usually read the book for tarot cards, but I felt called to do it for you guys. And the word of the hour is definitely discipline. So it says, most people think the secret to writing a novel is creativity, but I would beg to differ. Most people are creative, yet not everyone can write a novel. So what's the secret then? Why? It's a discipline. The King muses, though if you have a different perspective, you're more than welcome to defend it. While this card can represent an adult, it will more likely represent someone of any age who's secure in their knowledge and expertise. They definitely give all-knowing professor vibes. But when it comes down to it, they're actually extremely open-minded and willing to listen to others. Open-minded is also a gift as well, coming through for you guys. However, if you voice something in opposition, just be ready for a friendly debate, definitely. So people are like, you believe in all that woo-woo and you believe in all that stuff? It's like, yeah, because it's worked out for me. It's happened for me, right? I'm open to whatever the universe brings my way. That's the kind of energy I live life with. And things just always work out for me. Alignment, right? So yeah, I just felt called to read that. So I hope this reading resonated though. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always do so using my email in the description box below. Hype the video if you can as well. Or if you feel called to, right? I also have memberships on the channel. If you're interested in joining the memberships, feel free to do that. The link is in the description box below, right above wherever the timestamps are always, or always are, however that works. Oh, gosh. Oh, but yeah, I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group threes. Welcome to your reading. Thank you for joining me here today. So in honor of Aquarius season just starting, whether it be, I think it was today or yesterday, we're going to be doing a reading about what sets you apart, what makes you stand out, what makes you so unique, all that good stuff. Let's get right into it. I filmed like 12 minutes into group 3, but it was giving too much a group. I'm not even going to say it. But it was giving too much of a group that I already did today, and I'm not in the mood for repeats. So I'm like, nah, we gotta cleanse the energy and start over again. So please, Spirit, what makes my group 3s unique? What makes them stand out in the crowd? What sets them apart? My group 3s, please, Spirit. My group 3s. Here we have the Tower. Get ready. Things are about to get shaken up. So there's something unconventional about you. There's something here about you thriving in chaos. Or you're the kind of people who like dark matter. You like dark subjects, right? Because it's kind of, I'm being called to how they say, how is it? Something like when you're driving past a car crash, you can't help but look, like morbid curiosity. That could definitely be something coming through for you guys. You have a lot of morbid curiosity. Like all things that are dark and like taboo and that thing other people don't really focus too much on is what you guys like to, I guess, get into. So the more dark, baser instincts to life is what's coming through with the Tower card. Things that other people shun or don't like, you kind of like, right? So you could definitely be someone who like is an outcast in some kind of way. And that's what sets you apart, that people are like, oh my gosh, scared of you, or you're a person who's like whispered about. So yeah, you're into all the morbid, dark, creepy, freaky things of life, and you're not ashamed of it, you know? I love that, honestly. Then we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. I'm just taking all these cards. The Five of Cups did come through in the last reading I did for you guys, so I guess we'll keep that. The Two of Swords. Wake up. And this was kind of coming through as well in the last group 3. That you're kind of indecisive. Here we have the Five of Pentacles. We have the Six of Pentacles. I just heard you're stingy. When I tried to put it up right, Spirit was like, nah, put it in reverse, say stingy. I'm screaming, please. Maybe you're someone who's stingy. And you know what's hilarious? What I do remember from the last group 3 was that you guys had got the Seven of Swords in reverse. And it's kind of like, you think you're someone who, and what it says in the card is, do you think what you're doing is you being selfless? Do you really think you're being selfless? Something like that. So it says, are your actions really as selfless as you think? And this card always makes me laugh because she's sitting there like, yeah, let me kill this spider. And it's kind of like Spirit's like, hey, what did the spider do to you? You don't got to kill the spider now. And this person's like, yes, I do, for my peace of mind or whatever. And they're like, are you really as selfless as you, like, Chuck, please. Are your actions really as selfless as you think? And I think it's pretty selfish to want to kill a spider for just being in your area. As someone who doesn't like spiders, I've come to how can I say it? Not even a happy medium, but I've come to realize that they're there for a purpose. And if I can, I try to redirect them out of the house instead of immediately killing them, because they all deserve to live. So maybe you're someone who, oh my gosh, are you guys giving me the people who enjoy like harming things and stuff like that? That's what sets you apart and makes you unique. Like I said, all the morbid, gory, macabre things in life is kind of what you seem to gravitate towards, right? You could be obsessed with death. You could be obsessed with like things that are dying. You could be obsessed with like corpses, things like that, which is very odd for me to say. So I'm just like, yuck. Like, I'm not that kind of person who's interested in any of those things. I'm just like, stay away from me, okay? I want to be in La La Land. You're someone who's like very much realizing the stark reality of things. Maybe your pessimistic outview is what makes you unique and sets you apart, right? And it's kind of like we're all dying. And someone else would be like, excuse me? And you're like, yeah, we're all dying. You're giving me the Edgar Allan Poe's, honestly. Where he was just like so like adamantly focused on all the dark, scary, creepy things in life. Of like, and beyond life. And most people are kind of like, I'm just worried about what's going on here for the moment. Thank you. I ain't really worried about what's coming after, right? I'm worried about what's happening right now. And you're kind of like, no, I'm very much interested in what happens in the afterlife and what happens in death. And, you know, you're someone who may not run away from dark topics. And that's what makes you unique. Whether it's like murder or genocide or, you know, things like that. It's kind of what I'm getting. Famine. Most people kind of run from those topics like, no, that's uncomfortable for me. That's very uncomfy. And you're kind of like, okay, get used to the uncomfy. And people are like, no, I don't think I will. I don't like uncomfy topics. I want to stay in the comfortable zone. You're kind of like, no, I want to talk about everything. Taboos, things that everyone else to talk about. That's kind of what I'm getting for you guys, okay? You're kind of giving me a video that I was watching on TikTok earlier where a girl was like, we need to normalize like psychosexualizing ourselves, where we have to stop running away from what we want and trying to appease everyone else but ourselves. It's time for us to have the deep, dark talk with ourselves about maybe your kinks, what you like, what you're attracted to, and like unabashedly go after it or claim those things for yourself, right? And someone in the comments like commented some guy's name saying, are you right? That's why I love this person, because they're all about those like creepy, crawly, scary topics, you know? And it doesn't have to be scary like deep and dark, but things that most people don't want to talk about, you have the stomach to talk about, you know what I mean? Whether it's political climate, whether it's like food and what they're putting in the food. I'm hearing Trump doofy behind talking about they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, like they're literally feeding us this and that, and like conspiracy theories and things like that's what's coming through for you guys. You're definitely that kind of person. With the Five of Pentacles, there could be something here about you working with the homeless, or being interested in doing that at the Leopard Society that everyone doesn't really want to associate with. That's something you have no problem associating with, right? You're giving me a little bit of Kevin as well from Home Alone 2, where he's like stuck in New York City and he befriends the crazy, scary pigeon lady. And it's kind of like she never really had a friend other than Kevin because everyone would ignore her and pretend she didn't exist and run away from her and think she was so scary. And he was the first person who took the time to get to know her. So the dark topics, the uncomfortable topics, the taboo topics, the sexual topics, whatever it may be, you have no problem speaking about and opening up about it. Like there's something here about uncomfortable laughter, or you saying something in hopes that someone will like talk about it. It's like the elephant in the room kind of energy. That's what I'm getting for you guys as well. So your unique talents, like bringing these things to light or bringing them up in general, right? So things that people don't want to, I guess, realize or bring to their attention, such as racism and colorism and like having a voice and being able to say whatever you want, but most people can't go outside and do certain things, get away with it, but other people can. And it's kind of like, let's talk about it, right? So it's definitely giving like, you know, think pieces kind of energies coming through for you guys, okay? What else is coming through, please, Spirit? Maybe you have like an unusual look to you, or how can I describe it? There's something here about like you not looking like everyone else, what I'm hearing as well, because I'm seeing, I closed my eyes for a second and I saw these big glowing green eyes, and it's kind of reminding me of like how green is one of the rarest eye colors. So like I said, you're someone who you don't meet every single day. You talk about things that not everyone talks about. You get into things and ask questions that no one else would ask, and it's like that's like your power, superpower. Like, why is this lady outside in the snow in no jacket is my question. It says nothing is ever as hopeless as it seems. Maybe you're someone who has dealt with the dark side of life, honestly. Maybe you're someone who's been homeless, you're someone who's been broke, no place to stay, and it's kind of like, not too much, right? Maybe you've dug your way out of the mud as well. We have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. The Six of Pentacles is usually about like accepting handouts or giving out handouts, right? How the person in the card is treating the rich the same way he's treating the poor. You know what I mean? So empathy could definitely be one of your strong suits. You're seeing things, like seeing past the veneers, what I'm getting as well. You're seeing past what people put up. You're seeing past the mask. You know what I mean? That's a very strong power of yours as well. To see past the mask and see through people's BS as well. I'm just itching my eye. Whew. I'd be feeling too good. The Seven of Swords is someone who's trying to, I guess, fool you. And you're kind of like, nope, not going to happen. Not on my watch. You think what you're doing is supposed to be so selfless and so good, but it's more so giving, it's good for your brand and for your life. It's not good for us. So you're definitely the advocate speaking up for everyone else. What sets you apart is you feel alone, and you know what it's like to feel alone, and you bring a safe space or provide a safe space for others to feel alone with you as well. To the Tower card is you know how to shake things up. You know what I mean? That's one of your gifts. You know how to shake ish up, start conversations that no one else is having. You know what I mean? The Eight of Cups is like, instead of walking away, you decide to stay and fight and help. You know what I mean? The Five of Cups says spill tea is the end of the world. Like, there's something here about you helping people come through or get through, like, breakdowns and stuff like that. What other card is this here? Five of Cups. It says spill tea isn't the end of the world. So you're someone who's always changing and evolving as well. And that's what makes you very unique. Maybe the fact that I can't get a handle on this energy is telling me it's because you're always changing. You're always in growth. Like you're always on a like spiritual growth kick or something. You're learning deeper ways to heal, better ways to clean, better ways to make money. It's like you're getting like a how-to manual. Okay, and then we have the Empress over here. I completely forgot about her. That could be something in regards to you guys. People completely forget that you're the Empress, because all this other energy kind of gets overtaken. So maybe you're like a pretty gangster, you know what I mean? That kind of energy. Anything else coming through for you guys? The Tower card, I'm pretty sure, is Pluto energy. The Empress is a Venus energy. Any other big cards coming through? I think that's about it. Your imagination is quite big as well, because the Fool was coming through for your last group 3. So your imagination is quite big. You're always coming up with new ways to do different things. Like, I'm hearing innovative. Maybe some of you like actually make devices to help make your life easy in some way, right? Innovative, very artsy. Very artsy would make a lot of sense for you guys. You're very artsy. Okay, let's see what else these cards have to say for you guys. And I just saw 1333, so 333 can be important as well. Creativity is important. There's something here about you being like very artistically inclined. You're very talented in making people like feel what you feel through your work, your art, whatever it may be. Or I think that's what it is. Helping people see yourself or see what's going on in the world through your art. It's kind of like how a lot of people don't know what's going on until it's placed in front of their face in a palatable way where they can still digest it and understand what's going on, but it's like a symbol, or it's not like thrown in their face. So maybe you're good at like transmuting certain energies. I'm getting Alchemist 5 from you guys. You're good at alchemating or alchemizing what's really the problem into something that's like more lighthearted and funny. Okay, so here we have Harvest Witch. What sacrifices have been made for the greater vision of what is to be? What do you mean what sacrifices have been made? Sacrificing could be something coming through for you guys. Maybe your parents had to sacrifice a lot for your kids. You're good at like helping things be drawn to conclusion. Is what's coming through as well. So here we have foraging. There is no better feeling than having gone after what it is you deserve or desire. There is no better feeling than having gone after what you desire. Yeah, I don't know. There's something here about that. Like going after your dreams when no one else would. Looking for things and answers that no one else would. Group 1 is still coming through for you guys as well. So maybe some of you feel called to Group 1 or you're coming from Group 1. Here we have mead and wine, your presence embodied, tasting the pleasure flowing through your being. And that was coming through was like prioritizing more like that in your life. Because if you're looking at this card here, it looks kind of raunchy. Because this could be two legs open up and then you, I'm sure you know what I mean. Okay. Your presence is embodied, tasting the last pleasure flowing through your being. Can I translate that? Maybe your talents, you speak a different language as well. Because of course I can't, this is not in a different language, but that came through, so we're going to keep it. And then here we have tea magic. Reach into your subconscious, pull from the source, and weave magic with intention to answer the whole. You could be someone who has like high thoughts, like you smoke and you have high thoughts, is kind of what I'm getting here. Huh. Sorry for going quiet. I'm just trying to get a handle on the energy for you guys here. Like I'm getting a bunch of examples, but they're not coming through clear enough for me. Your presence embodied, tasting the pleasure flowing through your being. Well, you could be someone who's quite sexy, because please. So it's like giving manifestation as well. Reach to your subconscious, pull from the source, and weave magic with intention, and the answers will unfold. Very curious. See, you're giving me the journalism vibe that was coming through for group 1, how you're going to get the answer no matter what it takes or how it takes. Maybe your grown folk activities could definitely be something that's unique about you. It's something people have not experienced before, because it's saying with your presence embodied, tasting the pleasure flowing through your being. Like, what do you mean? Tasting the pleasure. That could be something coming through. Let's see what's coming up for you guys. Please, for my group 3s, maybe you're someone who's more quiet just in general, because the messages aren't coming in as quick as they usually do. Here we have the Seeker. All-seeing eyes, spirit release. Could you surrender just a little bit more? So you do kind of sit back and let things happen. That's the energy coming through as well. Here we have the Lover. It says it is safe to surrender to feel the good feelings. The Lover, Aphrodite, passion, abundance. And then we have the Empress coming through here. I'm my phone acting up. Could you surrender just a bit more? You're trying to unlock the secrets of the universe, and most people aren't doing that, you know? We have growing pains. It says healing, patience, the unconscious. So we have 2 cards now so far showing third eye chakra. So definitely like all-seeing eye. Then here we have the past. Letting go of the past could be something coming through very strongly for the entire group if you're still watching this. What makes you unique is you don't give up on family. What I'm hearing specifically is the way Stitch says it from Lilo and Stitch, where it's like Ohana means family and family means no one left behind. But the past, release, rebirth, and spring. And so I listened as my soul told me to let the past go so I may awaken to how much I've grown. So clearing out space for this new version of you who you're becoming is definitely a big vibe coming through for you guys. Having to deal with growing pains to figure out who you are, where you're going from now, always seeking, always looking for something, and trying to understand. That's what sets you apart. This constant journey to understand. Then here we have the sun. Be patient, it will come. The sun, manifestation, power, and ego. Be patient, it will come. So it makes you stand out with your pure, like, I don't know, pure, unadulterated energy. You're kind of giving me like a light bulb of pure energy, you know? That's what I'm getting from you guys. So I think there's something here about people feeling how powerful you are and how dark maybe, you know, your aesthetic could be, how dark your beliefs go, how deep and dark, you know, what you like is. And then trying to take it out bit by bit is kind of like surprising each time. They're kind of like, ooh, 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 we have this. Oh, we have this, you know. Yeah. Anything else coming through? But there's something like very dark spiritual, dark feminine, dark goddess, dark something about you guys. Anything else? You know, sometimes it can be a little bit spooky, maybe sometimes how quiet you are. I do believe the Hermit card, like I said, I think I mentioned that already, came out in the last reading for you guys. And it's just someone who's very much to themselves, very quiet, very magical, very dark, very mystical. And it's kind of like people are kind of like, what are you thinking? What are you going to say? Some people think you're mean. Some people think you're brilliant. That kind of energy. You get along with most people is something that's coming through as well. And it says reach into your subconscious, pull from the source, and weave magic with attention. The answers will unfold. So it's the taking things from your subconscious to bring it into the reality world or bring it into the real world, right? It's coming through as well. So you glow from within, but sometimes people are too scared or too judgmental to see how nice you actually are because you're giving the Empress. The Empress came through for you guys. And it says there's beauty to be found in every experience. So you can be quite the experience as well. You could also be a mother, and that's why you be inside more often than not. You're like, I need to be in the house, taking care of my child, maybe. I don't got time to be outside associated with anybody. But your heart is something that really stands out to people as well. The fact that we have tea magic and the seeker as well is definitely giving me you be like making some teas. Like in the Caribbean household, there's one tea that completely detoxes your body and takes out all the SHIT. So you could definitely be that detox for other people. You give it to them, they drink from you, they drink around you, and like word vomit starts coming up and they start doing all this crazy stuff. And they're kind of like, what the heck happened to me? And they're kind of like, gotcha. Your patience is definitely you have a very nice round face as well. There's something very deep about your eyes. Like, I think the whole package of you is someone who's very spiritual, very dark. You keep to yourself, mind your business. You don't bother anyone. You're in your cave uncovering mysteries, watching true crime kind of things. You don't bother nobody. And, like, right at this point, I'm like, who is group 3? There's like an enigma around you. But I'm going to leave your reading there, though. I don't want it to get too long of me just sitting here trying to decipher who you are. I think I did a pretty good job. Hopefully I did. Let me know if it resonated by hyping, liking, subscribing the video, okay? Right there. If you ever want to see more from me, you can like, comment, subscribe, right? I also have membership on the channel. Maybe you're someone's very low energy, very chill, very zen. Maybe you go to like yoga and stuff like that. It could be something going through. I forgot where I ended off at. I keep spacing out. That can be something you guys do, because please. I'm like, what's going on here? Who am I? What's going on, right? Anyway, let me stop. I'm done. Like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. Book a reading with me if you feel called to do so. Join the tribe. Join the membership if you feel called to do that as well. The link is in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. I just saw 2555, so 555 could be important as well. I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye.